Maiki Khan Gane reservation dibole la opor ja hafta Lok Sabha de charcha ja de bill to pass kuribo para nai itula khilaf opposition Khan logo khushi na paigina jaga sobte protest jai ase idu nishna Kohima Devi BJP district unit aur Mahila Morcha pra opposition parties Khan ge khushi na paigina reservation opor misa kotha kuri ase koigina khushi press conference thakia de state executive member Vinny Zotsur Hobra itula mamla opor jankari dishi aru party pra women reservation aru constitutional development opor bi hosa ase itu ki hosa ase to clarify kuribole aim rakhi ase koigina janaishe leader alak pra itula homoide kotha aru jankari dishi aibi tulaga details sabo
all our respected media friends party karyakartas this evening the BJP Kohima district is compelled to give this press conference to clarify to our people with regard to the women reservation and delimitation issue. As the opposition parties have created confusion and misleading statement to our people. Therefore, without wasting much time, we will start the press conference and today our senior BJP leader and state executive member Vinny Zotsur will be the main speaker, and after that, a few time will be given to our Mahila President Kohima District, and in the end, in last, I will take a few minutes and I will say some few words in Nagamese. So now I give time to our respected leader, Sir Vinny Zotsur.
Thank you, President Sir, and all the media fraternity. I'm going to talk about 33 reservation bill, which was not able to pass in Lok Sabha during 16 April 2026. In the year 2023, Women Reservation Act was passed by Parliament and became law, coming into force on April 16. The proposal to amend this Act, 131st Amendment Act, was defeated in the Lok Sabha with 298 votes in favor of the bill and 230 against the bill, failing to reach two-thirds majority required for constitutional amendment. On the 16th April 2026, the central government introduced 3 key bills in Lok Sabha. The first is the Constitution 131st Amendment Bill 2026, that is Women Reservation Bill, officially known as Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Second was Delimitation Bill 2026, and the third was the Union Territories Law Amendment Bill 2026. Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam provides that reservation for women will be implemented based on delimitation after the census conducted post-2026. If the government had waited for the census and subsequent delimitation, women would not be able to benefit from 33% reservation even in the 2029 general election, as the census and subsequent delimitation period takes time. Therefore, to ensure timely benefit to half the population, it was considered necessary to delim implementation of the Act from this condition. If this bill is passed and approved, this bill would have enabled women to receive 33% reservation in Lok Sabha as early as 2029 general election. Delimitation means finalizing the boundary of the constituency. It is essential for implementing women reservation. The limit of seats in Lok Sabha was set at 550 in 1976. In 1971, the population of India was 54 crores. Today, it is 140 crores. Therefore, it is important to increase the seat 800 to 850 in the Lok Sabha. This would enable fair representation of the people in the parliament. No changes were proposed to the Delimitation Commission Act. The existing legal framework remains intact, and any recommendation of the Commission would require parliamentary approval and presidential assent. Ongoing elections, including those in states like Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, would not be affected as elections up to 2029 will be conducted under the current system. The proposal was based on the proportional expansion approach. A uniform 50% increase in seats would maintain the proportion for all states and UTs. Applying this principle to the current 543 seats would lead to approximately 815 seats. Therefore, the upper limit on seats was increased from current capacity of 550 seats to 850 seats. The discussions held in Parliament on 16 and 17 April on Constitution 131st Amendment Bill, the Delimitation Bill and the Union Territories Law Amendment Bill were a historic opportunity connected with the democratic future of the country and women's participation. However, in these 2 days, it was not just a bill that fell in the House. Congress, Samajwadi Party, TMC and DMK have fallen permanently in the eyes of half of the population of the country. The Bharatiya Janata Party strongly condemned the shameful, undemocratic and anti-women conduct of the opposition alliance that the entire nation witnessed in Parliament on 16th and 17th April. These parties did not just oppose constitutional amendment or delimitation-related bills. They have stabbed millions of mothers, sisters and daughters of India in the back. This entire episode has made it clear whenever the question arises of giving women equal participation in decision-making, these parties erect walls of political excuses and delays. The conspiracy by Congress and its elites to keep women away from Parliament and state assemblies for decades was once again exposed during these 2 days of debate. These parties pretend to be protectors of democracy, but in reality they are undermining the very spirit of democracy by depriving women in their rights by narrow political interests and appeasement. Taking a strong stand against this anti-women attitude of the opposition, Prime Minister Narendra Modi presented the truth before the nation. He clearly stated that this was not a moment for politics, but for taking a decision in national interest. He emphasized that giving half the population of the country a share in policy making is not a favor, but their natural right, which Congress and its elites kept hostage for decades. Prime Minister emphasized that when all parties come together, such issues do not maintain political and national benefits. He directly appealed to every member to rise above personal and party interests. When the Nari Shakti Vandan Adiniyam was brought, these opposition parties had supported it under compulsion due to the proximity of elections. But when the time came to actually deliver women their rights, their anti-women mindset surfaced clearly. The Prime Minister warned that women of the country are no longer silent spectators. They are active participants and have the power to directly influence electoral outcomes. Today, lakhs of women are successfully leading to the panchayat level across villages, taking decisions and now fully prepared to play their role in parliament and assemblies. In such a situation, delaying this historic opportunity is not just legislative delay but a strangulation of social and democratic progress, and those responsible will face strong anger from opponents in every election. Echoing the same spirit, Union Home Minister Amit Shah also demolished the edifice of falsehood built by opposition. He made it clear in the House that primary objective of these bills was to effectively implement the core constitutional principle of one person, one vote, one bill. Delimitation is a constitutional obligation that has been postponed for a long time, leading to a serious imbalance in representation. The Home Minister stated clearly that the opposition from Congress and the alliance is not about process or method, but stems from their fundamental opposition to the idea of granting reservation to women. History bears witness that the party which stood against the right of Muslim women in the Shah Bano case and supported the practice of triple talaq cannot accept the idea of equal representation for women. For decades, Congress kept women reservation pending through technical excuses, committees, and hollow debates. And whenever it came to granting rights to backward classes, it pushed Commission report into cold storage. Granting reservation to women in Panchayat was easy for them because their own positions were not at stake there, but in Parliament. They kept it to your family side. The purpose of delimitation is not merely to increase the number of seats, but to ensure balance and inclusive representation in proportion to population. However, rattled by their shrinking political base, DMK and its allies are now playing a divisive game of creating north-south divide in the country. These parties are spreading completely false narrative that delimitation will harm South India, whereas the Union Home Minister clearly stated with Phek that no state or region will face injustice and that the proportional representation of every southern state will remain protected and will increase after delimitation. In this conspiracy to deny women their rights, the Samajwadi Party also played a dangerous move by raising unconstitutional demand for religion-based reservation within the quota, even though the Constitution of India clearly rejects reservation on the basis of religion. The hypocrisy of TMC has also been exposed before the nation. A party that suppressed the voice of women in its own state through violence was pretending to uphold democracy in Parliament. The opposition is ignoring the fact that the implementation of Nari Shakti Vandan Adiniyam is directly linked to delimitation. Any delay in delimitation will delay the benefit of reservation for women. Therefore, opposition these bills was effectively an attempt to block women from getting their rights through due. The opposition believes it can mislead the public through technical excuse, but today women understand everything. This was not merely opposition to a bill, but an expression of the opposition frustration against Prime Minister Modi. Congress and its elites fear that if women receive their historic rights under his leadership, their remaining political ground will slip away. The Bharatiya Janata Party reiterated its complete commitment to women empowerment, balanced representation, and strengthening democracy. This is not a time to create division or confusion, but to come together and strengthen the democratic framework of the country. The Modi government will firmly fight these anti-women forces for the rights of women, so that half of the population of the country receive the place it rightfully deserves. In the times to come, the women of India will respond through the power of their vote and push these arrogant and anti-women activities to the margins of forever. In conclusion, the Kohima district Bharatiya Janata Party would like to appeal to all the right-thinking citizens of India to participate in the implementation of 33% reservation, and we also appeal to the opposition parties to refrain from obstructing the bill to be passed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, media, for itself. Implementing reservation requires delimitation of seats. Delimitation is an extensive consultative process. It takes 2 years to complete delimitation. Therefore, these bills were brought in the Parliament for implementing women's reservation. Why was there no separate quota for Muslim women with the reservation framework? The Constitution of India does not provide for reservation based on religion. Reservation policies are based on social and economic backwardness, as laid out in the Constitution. Why was the Women Reservation Bill introduced in 2023 if it was not to be implemented immediately? The bill was introduced and passed in 2023 to establish the legal and constitutional framework for women's reservations. It reflected broad political support at the time, enabling the enactment of the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Was there any attempt to modify the Delimitation Commission Act for political advantage? This is our question. Would ongoing state election be affected? So no changes were proposed to the Delimitation Commission Act. The existing legal framework remained intact, and any recommendations of the Commission would require parliamentary approval and presidential assent. Ongoing elections, including those in states like Tamil Nadu or West Bengal, would not be affected, as elections up to 2029 will be conducted under the current system. The Bharatiya Janata Party is committed to women empowerment and strengthening democracy, and will firmly fight these anti-women forces to ensure that women receive their rightful due. There are so many issues women can tackle better than men counterpart. With due respect to the elected members, if we have more representative of women in every assembly, it will help to bring women-related issues more clarity. So this is not a time to create division or confusion, but to come together and strengthen the democratic framework of the country.
Okay, 3 points in Nagamis. Well, means this has to be go to the grassroots level. Even the grassroots level also have to understand the reason why this bill was not passed or why this bill was delayed. So it will be just a repetition to your point, but I just want to say 2-3 points in Nagamis. Eto delimitation to kile necessary hoise bole age the speaker kan English te para koi dia nisna. Ami kan 1976 te eto 550 seat eto ami han Lok Sabha seat create kurise eto time de 1971 laga census law time de আমি খান এইটো টাইম দে 54 crore population হে থাকিছে ইন্ডিয়া মান ওরিলেবি ইতিয়াতো আমি খান 140 crore population হৈছে whereas আমি খান লাগা লোক সভা সিট টু 1976 তে এটো ক্রিয়েট কৰি দিয়া 50 ক্রিয়েট কৰা এটোতে হে আমি খান থাকি আছে এটো নিমতে যি হলিবি এটো ডিলিমিটেশন তো কৰিব লাগে এটো হলে একদম ইম্পর্টেন্ট লাগা পয়েন্ট এটা আছে এটো নিমতে আৰু ডিলিমিটেশন কৰিলে এটো হলে টাইম টেকিং প্রসেস আছে এটো নিমতে ইট উইল টেক 2 years as they have said এটো নিমতে তো এতিয়া বড় এটো ডিলিমিটেশন প্রসেস তো এটো শুরু কৰি লৈছে বলে আমি খান by 2029 to আমি খান এটো ইমপ্লিমেন্ট কৰিব পাৰিব এটো নিমতে ইন a hurriedly way এটো বিল টু ইন্ট্রোডিউস কৰিছে whereas এটো unluckily এটো থ্ৰু কৰিব পৰা নাই এটো নিমতে it is a very big setback for the people of India আমি আমাৰ নেশন নিমতে একদম setback এটা হৈ যায় আৰু তাকান কৈ দিয়া নিছনা কিলে women reservation লাগাতো কিলে ডিলিমিটেশন নমতে ইনক্লুড কৰিছে এটো না কৰিলে বি অপজিশন কাম কৰিব এটো না কৰিলে বি ডিলিমিটেশন না কৰিলে বি women reservation তো ইন্ট্রোডিউস কৰিব পাৰে তাকান খালি এটো এক্সকিউজ নিমতে কৰি আছে মানে অপজিশন কাম এটো কোৱা আছে হয় তাকান কৈ থাকিব পাৰে হলে বি এতিয়া আমি কান ফৰ এক্সাম্পল ডিলিমিটেশন কৰিছে বলে তাকান কৈ দিয়া নিছনা এটো constituency each and every constituency laga boundary kan eto kan demarcation kan sab ঠিক কৰিব কিলে মানে ইভেন ইন কোহিমা দোসরা জায়গা তো বলে মেনল্যান্ড ইন্ডিয়া তে ছাড়িবি নাগাল্যান্ড স্টেট তে হলে দোসরা জায়গাতে ছাড়িবি হলে ইভেন ইন কোহিমা আমি কান একটা সব পারা তো হলে ফর এক্সাম্পল 14,000 আঙ্গামী কনস্টিটুয়েন্সি দে তখন আহিকিনে 14,000 খান তো আহিকিনে ছোট বস্তি কিছু বোঝো এটুবি তাহলে কনস্টিটুয়েন্সি আহিকিনে তাদেবি টাচ করে whereas the laga surrounding kan to soap to hole to under different constituency in every gina american laga demarcation kan bi ekdam thik no hoy gina ase ninde to kan bi streamline guri gina etu bichite he etu women reservation bill bi etu ina guri gina etu increase guri gina ahise bole etu hole thik ase go ninde etu duita eki logode ania laga ase aro dosra to hoye bole opposition kan bote hole itia BJP kan to delimitation to puri kine ta hala advantage nimde puribo kone to puriya se kone to koa hole bi ta kan age de speaker kan koi dia nisna eto delimitation commission to hole ta laga system ekta ta laga legal framework ekta ase etu nimde ta kan tade changes kumba thagise changes kumba puribo bole etu to hole ta kan parliamentary approval lobo lage parliament e pass lobo lage etu opore ami laga president bara eto approve kurubo lage etu nimde eto system kan to sob ase etu nimde etu delimitation kurise bole bi ruling party te dagile NDA kan india etu advantage lobo bole bi opposition kan kwani etu na paribo kile mane etu system kan to sob parliament e pass kurubo something if anything is wrong tahan submit kurade wrong thaki jogole india etu bill defeat kurani tahan they can defeat anytime etu nimde hole bi etu kan to sob opposition kan laga excuse ekta nimde enega tahan enega puri ase etu nimde etu bi janibo lage aro itia delimitation kurise bole ami kan ruling state kan etu advantage hobo bone etu bi koa hole bi tahan clearly that they mentioned kuri dise etu to khali 50% increase to 50% increase te etu ratio de kuru bola ase etu nimde sit bichi dagan bichi pabo komti pabo etu ase etu nimde etu kan ami han laga political opposition parties kan bara ki koi thakile bi etu kan bi etu to nijer he buji kine kuru bola lage koine etu bi janibo lage koine etu bi koi di ase aro when it comes to quota muslim reservation laga hole bi one is na ami kan laga reservation to le kitia bi constitution to like based on religion etu reservation to kite be permit kora nai it is based on etu economic or social laga etu te he no hole kite be etu religion based etu reservation to dia nai etu nimde women muslim quota laga etu reservation to dusra political party kan etu claim kori thaka be etu bi etu that is not constitutionally correct etu bi janibo lage gune etu bi janai dise etu implementing etu reservation etu implement kura to hola ami an women reservation 33 etu thik pra implement kuru para to hola ami kan delimitation to kuri kine he etu sit bi increase kuri kine etu kuri le he আমি খান সিস্টেম এটো কি কি হলে ঠিক হবলে আছে তিনিতে আমি খান এটো সাপোর্ট কৰিব লাগে কইনা যদি সব মানুহ কি এটো বুজিবি কইনা এটো জনাই দিছে আৰু আজি ইন কনক্লুশন এটো আপুনি খান সব মানুহ হলে বি আপুনি খান লাগা স্পেশালি আওয়ার মিডিয়া ফ্রেন্ডস আপুনি লাগা ভ্যালুয়েবল টাইম দিকিনা ইকিনা আমি লাগা পার্টি এটো প্রেস কনফারেন্স এটো বি কভারেজ দিয়া নিন্দা আপুনি সব মানুহ কি আৰু একদম once again thank you to all of you জনাই দিছে thank you.
Do you really know what you're eating? Not all eggs are the same. Choose Junaki eggs you can trust. At Junaki, quality begins at the source. Fresh, safe, and perfect for your family.
Every Junaki egg is lab tested for safety and problem harmful bacteria.
Bring home the nutrition your family truly deserves.